We're essentially, myself and Mr. Yeet here are going to sit down and we're going to do our first impressions of the new free-to-play game, Lost Ark. Obviously, as you can see, we are doing it live. We are doing this on stream. That was the plan. Between myself and Yeet, we have about 50 hours into the game. Yeet has a much more developed character than I do. Not that that should shock anybody who has watched any of our shit. Because Yeet is, well, Yeet. But I have a fairly developed character in my own right. I'm going to start with you, my friend. What are your first thoughts when it comes to this game?
My first thoughts on this game, surprisingly, are very positive. I know that's not characteristic of me.
No, it isn't. It isn't at all, which surprises me a lot. But here's the thing with this, and this is my big one. Me and you, especially me and you, more than I think anybody else in the coalition, really jumped into New World, and we jumped into New World hard. Both of us in the beginning said the same thing. We were like, well, fuck, New World's awesome. But we were both wrong.
Stand by my statement that New World is awesome. It just needs way more love than I think it's going to get.
This is fair. But so let's look at this through that lens. This game has been out for a couple of years already. So it's already mildly polished. And
I would argue it's extremely polished.
Oh, so I mean, okay, yes, that's fair, I suppose. But like, this game got a little bit of hype. You like it. I'm sure me and you like it for different reasons. Why do you like this as much as you do?
One of the things I love about this game is I feel it has a very fluid combat system.
Okay.
It is skill-based to a degree, but it's just knowing what your skills do and trying to, like, unlike in WoW and ESO, like having your debuffs and your status buffs and all that stuff in like a rotation that way, this one is literally just a rotation to ensure that you continue to keep hitting. This is one of those hacky slashy kind of games, kind of like Diablo and Path, where as long as you keep hitting, eventually they die.
This is true.
And it's a nice, almost zenful kind of gameplay flow.
Yeah.
You don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it outside of what skills you like and want to improve. The quest systems are very easy to understand. They're very short and sweet when it comes to deciphering what you actually need to do. So I like that because I don't like having to fucking get out a Rosetta Stone to figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Graphically, I find the game to be very pleasing. Okay, I have one negative so far. One main negative.
Okay.
It really only pertains to two different classes, and that would be the gunner and the martial artist.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Because both of these classes have a male and female variant, but one of the two variants will have 3 subclasses, while the other one only has 1. And I think that is fucking stupid. I think they should have just did 2 and 2.
Okay.
But outside of that, that's really my only main negative about this so far. Content that I've gotten to so far, I really like the stronghold system. I think it has a lot of potential to do some cool shit.
Expand out on that, because I have not made it to the stronghold system yet.
Okay, so once you reach a certain milestone in the game, which I will not disclose, you will be gifted a stronghold for your deeds. And it's an island, or a multitude of islands.
Okay.
I think it's like one main island and like 2 little bitch islands.
2 little bitch islands.
And I only call them that because they're tiny as fuck and there's nothing on them.
So they're there for aesthetics.
Yeah, they're there for aesthetic purposes. Because with the stronghold, as you level up your stronghold, because it has its own level progression system as you do stuff, which will unlock more things that you can then craft. And it's got like a whole unlocked multi-tier service or system to it. It has a dispatch service where you could send out quote-unquote pirates that work for you, and they will go do various tasks for you and bring you shit back.
Huh.
All of these are on cooldown timers, which you can bypass if you use crystals, kind of like Warframe. You could use
like the
your
platinum.
fucking platinum to speed through shit. You can do the same thing in this if you want to do that, or you can just go do something else and let it just do its thing. Because none of it is prohibiting you to do anything else. Yeah, like you can go to the stronghold and pop your research in your lab, your dispatch mission, and all that stuff, and then you can go back to your questing and then come back to it later.
Okay.
And you get experience for everything you craft. Everything you research, you get experience for. Eventually, you'll research and be able to craft structures that you can place out throughout your island, so you can customize it however you want it, which is kind of cool. Every 12 hours, a random quote-unquote merchant will appear on your island, and they will sell various shit. And you can use a currency you get in-game. It's not a premium currency, it's just one you get. It's various types of seals that you get from doing your dispatch missions. And you can use that to get various items. There's other stuff to it, but I haven't gotten to the point where I've unlocked the ability to do the other things, so I won't talk about those because I don't know anything about them yet. But it definitely feels like it has potential. Gotcha. So I like that. I haven't done PvP yet. I am capable of it, I just haven't done it yet.
That'll be something we probably do in the next couple of days, if I had to guess.
Probably, because PvP has two different aspects. You have solo PvP, where it's one-on-ones, and then there's group PvP.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Storyline. I actually really like this story so far. Like, I feel like it is engaging enough to keep you interested, while not being overly convoluted, and to the point where you stop giving a shit. A lot of the main characters that you will come into contact with, numerous times. They are very much staple characters. Armin being a prime example. You meet him at the very beginning of the game. I still talk to that dude all the fucking time.
That motherfucker's everywhere.
He is everywhere. He follows you all over the goddamn place.
He is everywhere you want to be.
And the more you find out about him as a character, the more badass that dude is.
You right? That I can vouch with.
We fended off the
he gets better. But yeah, so there's a lot of cool character development and character lore that's kind of cool. There's a fuck ton of regions in this game that you slowly get to.
Like, my take on this, like I said, I'm a little bit further behind him than he is. I'm further behind on the end than he is. But like, this game has a lot of positives. I will piggyback off that. Pretty much everything he said that I have come into contact with, I agree with. The story is super well done, not convoluted and stupid. You find yourself, for a free game, the free game aspect of this is awesome. And the reason I say that is because they do it the right way. Like, here, let me show you guys. There's all these mounts and stuff that you can get, and they're a little expensive, but ultimately that's how they're fun in the game. That's fair. I'm not mad about it at all. Perfectly fine. The pets and everything, they're just skins for the pet. Right now I got a rabbit and a black horse. So ultimately I can do anything I want with those, and I can buy skins for them later. So that's a good way to fund this game, as far as I can tell. And there's a lot of shit to do. There really is a lot of shit to do. For a free game, the only two negative things I have, and I'll piggyback off the one he said, I have not ran into that personally, but the way that some things are locked with either being genderfied or whatever you want to call it is weird. Like, it's not a game breaker, but it is weird. It's just a really bizarre concept. Gameplay is super fluid. The leveling system is super easy to understand. Having the ability to do levels and stuff is great. The roster level is something he didn't touch on, but effectively the way the roster level works is for every character that is on the same server. So right now we're on the Kartha server. For every character that is on that server that I make, they get added to my roster level. And the roster actually gives you additional shit. Additional perks for your character. All in all, if you're looking for a game to play and looking for an MMO with a neat combat system, and this is directed right at you, Scott. Right at you, Scott. Ultimately, I think that
I searched on my way here,
the game is awesome. I think it's a good free-to-play game. Overall, they did really, really good with how they laid this game out. And honestly, the combat system is interesting enough to me that I would be down for the grind for quite a while, honestly. Oh, that's another thing. There's a collectible card system in this motherfucker. Collectible card systems.
So what you're saying is I have to be pay to win.
No, not at all. Not pay to win at all.
This game is not pay to win.
No, not at all. It's a very good structurally set up thing. You can get the crystals, everything but royal crystals, from my understanding, you can earn in game. And you can use those to buy things like this card bundle. Like Yeet was telling me earlier, the PvP side gives you all of your shit up front. So you're not buying an advantage because you can't buy weapons. You can't buy any of that shit. So like the microtransactions are effectively there for cosmetics and to give you certain things that you can already find in game. It just speeds up the process. It's not shit that's locked per se behind a paywall.
So then would you say it's mobile-like, where you have like energy and then you have to wait until your energy renews?
Not at all.
You do.
Do you?
The stronghold and your harvesting does have a cap of how much you can do a day. But the cap is 10,000, and it does not drain fast.
So it's quite large.
It's quite large. You would literally have to do nothing but harvesting all fucking day for hours to fucking get rid of that shit. And it refills in like 4 hours.
So what gaming skill level would you say you need to come in for this game?
Beginner.
Yeah.
Like basic.
Supers. Anybody who understands the click and point game, it would be right on.
If you can play Diablo,
you can play this.
You
easy.
can play this.
Yeah, easy. Overall, what Yeet said as far as the negatives, the only other negative, and this is me being a nitpicky prick, the first line of most major quests are being narrated. Nothing else is narrated. Other than
that kind of bothers. I forgot about that.
Fucks with my brain, and I don't like it. If you're gonna do it, go all the way in, or don't go in at all. And I don't care to read. That's whatever. I don't care.
It's the half-assed mentality.
It's the half-assed mentality of it that bothers me. It's like I said. Overall, if you like that click point dungeon crawly style game, fucking worth it. Well worth it. It's fucking free. So of course it's worth it. Now, if you have Amazon Prime, the beauty of that is you do still
Twitch Prime drops.
Twitch Prime drops, and you also get the Amazon Prime is dropping other shit as well. There's a lot of, like I said, overall, there's a lot of positives to this game, and a
lot of nice wieners.
A lot of nice wieners. I will be invested for a while until either I get bored with it or I end up finding, something that pisses me off exclusively. As of yet, I have it. And I like I said, 10, 15 hours in now, there's a lot of things that could have went wrong. The glitches, there's no glitches to speak of. I'm sure
I've seen one.
You've seen one. Okay, so see, I haven't had one yet.
But it was a loading glitch.
And that's possible.
And it wasn't so much that I didn't load in. It was like I loaded in faster than the world loaded in. So like everything was like white for a second. It was really weird.
That's funny. Oh, one other thing that we didn't touch on, and I'm going to do that right now, is the adventure tome, which is the thing you unlock. Effectively,
which I absolutely adore.
Yes, fan-fucking-tastic. But you see the loot system literally drops loot as you're, just right there on the ground. I do not know if loot is shared or what, but there is world bosses. I've noticed that.
There are, in fact, yes.
And you get experience for filling up your adventure tome, which is effectively just zone guides in MMOs. That's another, for the collector and the people that are like, man, I really want to do everything. Good fucking luck, but
a fucking lot.
There's a lot there to do.
Hold on, let's clear this up real quick, because I'm staring at my adventure tome right now.
Okay.
So each region of this game, which there are 17 regions.
Yep.
Each region has 7 different collectible items that you have to collect multiple of in order to get the full story behind it. Each one of them has 7 cooking recipes that are exclusive to their regions, 10 different vistas you can find, 15 different monsters, 2 world bosses, 2 to 3 dungeons, and up to 5 to 6 main storyline quests. Also not counting each individual NPC that is in those regions, that you can get rapport with, which therefore can get you even more shit. For those psychopaths out there that are sometimes like me, or that I am sometimes like, there is a lot to do.
Overall, probably one of the best free games I've played so far. I'd like to come back and visit this again in like a month.
Okay.
Just in a month, we'll have a lot of things. Overall, though, like I said, definitely worth a look and a view if you are interested in this style of game.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's a very enjoyable. So yes, we very much approve of this game. I'd give it a download. It's definitely worth it. Real quick, want to say thank you, Yeet, for joining me for this particular first impressions video.